Uh, Jade is a common item that is found in my area. This is actually slate, now that I get it out. Slate is also common in my area, so this point has been made from a stone, and it has sinew to tie it on. The way that the wood was split on the tip, there's a certain time period when that was brought up to speed. You can tell it's got a narrower point, so definitely this was used with the throwing sticks, they call them. There's an area that's either made with an antler or a bone or a piece of wood made specifically for the hunter, depending on their build. And there would be a hole within the stick that allowed this to fit in. It would fit pretty snugly. And then as they threw it, that throwing stick would increase the penetration. And so this is a smaller one, so it was probably used in by the hunters to do activities like in bushes and those kinds of things, because it didn't have the flight capabilities, whereas the longer ones would be used further out in the water. It has grooves on here, which are part of those discussions around the bloodletting. So once it penetrated, these grooves would help the blood to come out so the animal would weaken and make sure that we harvest. There were specific ways that these tips were made, and it took a lot of skill to make them. They can be very fragile, and not everybody learned it. Some of these tips were traded many, many miles by skilled providers of these types of things. Every community had people who would try to make them, but not all of them had this specific skill. You can see on the blade there's also a groove that has been in there, and that's the same thing. It would allow the blood to come out so it would weaken the animal in the hunt. There is no glue used to hold this in place, though there are glues that they made with the hooves of the animals that we would use. So some of them would use those types of things, but on this one there was not. It does have some evidence of staining, so it probably was used in a hunt previously, because it does look like there has been some markings related to an animal having been struck. There are bindings that are missing here, so that some of this string may have been cut at one time, because you can see the wear of where they were at before, and it might have been repaired at one point.